What's going on, guys? EGM coming at you with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be bringing you my predictions for UFC Fight Night 113 Glasgow, Ponzinibbio versus Nelson. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so first up we have the early prelims on UFC Fight Pass. We have a women's bantamweight bout between UFC newcomer Amanda Lemos and Leslie Smith. I have Amanda Lemos winning that fight, remaining undefeated, winning her UFC debut via unanimous decision. Next up, we have a bantamweight bout between Brett Johns and Albert Morales. I have Brett Johns winning that fight by unanimous decision and also remaining undefeated. Now we move on to the prelims on Fox Sports 1. We have a lightweight bout between Daniel Tamer and Danny Henry. I have Daniel Tamer winning that fight via knockout in the first round. Next up, we have a welterweight fight between Charlie Ward and Galor Bufando. I have Galor Bufando winning that fight via knockout in the first round. Next up, we have a flyweight bout between former Ultimate Fighter competitor Alejandro Pantoja and UFC veteran Neil Siri. Alejandro Pantoja won his UFC debut via split decision against Eric Shelton. Pantoja is looking to continue to move up the flyweight rankings and make a name for himself in this division, eventually become a contender, and I think he takes a step towards doing that and beats Neil Siri via submission in the second round. Next up, we have a welterweight bout between Danny Roberts and Bobby Nash. Now, Danny Roberts last stepped into the octagon with Mike Perry, where he was finished in the third round. Bobby Nash also lost his UFC debut. He took the fight on short notice against Yi Zhang Liang, and where he also got finished. So these two guys are looking to rebound after brutal losses, and I think Bobby Nash is just the better boxer, the better striker. I think he's going to be able to keep it on the feet. He's not going to let Bobby Nash use his wrestling, and I do see Danny Roberts coming away with a unanimous decision victory. And now we move on to the main card. First up, we have a heavyweight bout between Justin Willis and James Mulleron. I have Justin Willis winning that fight via knockout in the second round. Next up, we have a light heavyweight bout between Khalil Roundtree and Paul Craig. I think Khalil Roundtree is just going to be too strong. He has tremendous amounts of powers in both of his hands, excellent in the clinch, very good when it comes to utilizing his knees and elbows, and I think that Khalil Roundtree is just going to overpower Paul Craig and get the knockout in the second round. Now we have a middleweight bout between Jack Marshman and Ryan James. Ryan James is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's going to look to try to get the fight to the ground, do everything in his power to get the fight to the ground and take advantage of Jack Marshman's inferior Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But I think that Jack Marshman is just a physically stronger guy. I think Ryan James is going to have a hard time getting him to the ground. And I do see Jack Marshman utilizing his striking and eventually coming away with a decision victory over Ryan James. Next up, we have a lightweight bout between Paul Felder and Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray is very aggressive on the feet. He likes to grind you up against the cage. He likes to take you down, and he likes to pound you out. Paul Felder is a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. He's a black belt in karate. He's a much better striker than Stevie Ray. So it kind of just depends. In this fight, it just depends who's going to be able to implement their game plan better. And I do see Paul Felder getting the better of the striking exchanges and coming away with a decision victory. And now we move on to the co-main event of the evening, a women's strawweight bout between the number 8 ranked contender in the world, Joanne Calderwood, and the number 14th ranked strawweight, Cynthia Calvillo. Joanne Calderwood is an excellent striker, specializes in Muay Thai and kickboxing, has a great professional kickboxing record. She's 3-2 in the UFC. The last time she stepped into the octagon, she lost to Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade was just much stronger than she was. Like I said, she's a very good striker. She's smooth with her hands, excellent in throwing combinations. The only thing is that she stands there in your face for too long, tends to get hit a bit too much. Cynthia Calvillo, on the other hand, trains with Team Alpha Male. She's undefeated. She's a strong grappler and has excellent Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, Calderwood may get the better of the exchanges on the feet, but once the fight hits the mat, it's all Cynthia Calvillo from there, and I do see Cynthia Calvillo getting it to the ground and submitting Joanne Calderwood in the second round. And now we have the main event of the evening, a welterweight bout between the number 8th ranked contender in Gunnar Nelson and the number 14th ranked contender in Santiago Ponzinibbio. Santiago Ponzinibbio is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's an excellent boxer with tremendous power. He's 6-2 in the UFC. He made his UFC debut in 2013 against Ryan LaFleur, where he lost. Since then, he has won 6 of his last 7 fights. He's on a 4-fight win streak, but he's going to have his hands full with Gunnar Nelson. Gunnar Nelson is a black belt in Goju Ryu Karate, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, holds a record of 16-2 with 12 of his wins coming by submission. He's 7-2 in the UFC. 2 of his losses coming to Damian Maia and Rick Story, guys that were physically bigger than him. Now, Gunnar Nelson gets a lot of praise for his ability to submit opponents in a variety of different ways, but he's no slouch on the feet. He's very fluent with his movements, excellent hand technique. He has good hand speed. Now, it's all going to come down to who's more patient. Now, Ponzinibbio has a tendency to come out right off the bat, swing for the fences, waste a lot of energy in early rounds. He throws powerful shots. He has a looping right hand that if catches Gunnar Nelson can hurt him, but I just don't see it playing out that way. I see Ponzinibbio coming out pressuring right away and Gunnar Nelson remaining a little bit more relaxed as he usually does and just allowing Ponzinibbio to burn himself out. Now, Ponzinibbio, as I said, if he catches Gunnar Nelson, he's going to have a legitimate shot to finish him, but he has to finish him. He has to hurt him on the feet, and he's going to have to look for the knockout early because the longer the fight goes, the more of an advantage Gunnar Nelson is going to have. He does have the better cardio. Now, I see Gunnar Nelson surviving an early scare from Ponzinibbio and eventually being able to land his shots, tag Ponzinibbio up on the feet, and I think he's really going to hurt him. I think he's going to land a combination that's going to wobble Ponzinibbio, and I do see him finishing Ponzinibbio in the 3rd round via TKO. Now, if you like these videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As well as stay tuned for more videos. Until next time. Thanks, guys.